Hello, this is the walkthrough for the Higher Homework 2. I'll start with question 1. The area of the whole square is 144. Each circle, because they just fit, the diameter will be 6, so the radius of the circle must be 3. The area of each circle is going to be pi times 3 squared, 9 pi, and there were 4 of those, so that's 36 pi. So the whole area is 144, sorry, the shaded area is 144 minus 36 pi, and everything's in centimetres, so it's centimetre squared. Question 2, standard quadratic sequence, 11, 26, 45, 68. Look at the first difference, 15. Look at the second difference, 19. Sorry, first difference 15, first difference 19. That's 23. The second difference then is constant, which means it is a quadratic sequence, and we halve that second difference. So I'm looking at the 2n squared sequence. Remember, the 2 comes from halving that 4. So 2 times 1 squared, 2 times 2 squared, 2 times 3 squared, 2 times 4 squared. The sequence I want is 11, 26, 45, 68. So 2 to 11, we had 9. 8 to 26, we had 18. 18 to 45, 27. 32 to 68, 36. So this is a linear sequence, and actually this one's straightforward. It's the 9 times table. So my nth term is 2n squared plus 9n. Question 3. I've got, what have I got? 0.172 going. So remember what I want. I want 2 lines where I have the same decimal part. So if I multiply by 10, I get 1.72 recurring. Worth saying that we need to show that we understand the recurring notation, so it's worth putting a few of those in. 1.72727272, etc. 100x, well, that gives me 17.272727. So I haven't got the same decimal part yet, but of course the 1000x will give me what I need, 172.727272. So I'm going to use 10x and 100x because my decimal parts are the same. So 1000x minus 10x is 172.72 recurring minus 1.72 recurring. That's 171. 1000 minus 100, 990x is 171. Divide both sides by 990. Now, simplest form, I can see straight away that these are both multiples of 3 because the digits of 7 add to 9. So let's work out, let's divide top and bottom by 3. I think I can go again. So 57 over 3 is 19. 330 over 3 is 110. 110 is not a multiple of 19, and 19 is prime, so that is it in its simplest form. Question 4, I'll fit on the bottom of the page here. So I'm given 2 values expressed as prime factors. The wrong thing to do is work out these values. I want the highest common factor. So, as I would normally do, put them into a Venn diagram. I've got a 2 in the middle, x has got an extra 2, I've got a 3 in the middle, y has got an extra 3, and I've got a 5 in the middle, y has got an extra 5. Remember, the highest common factor is everything, so 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5, 4 times 9 times 25, 25 times 4 is 100, 100 times 9 is 900. The lowest common multiple, well, that's just the middle bits, 2 times 3 times 5, which is 6 times 5, 30. I've gone the wrong way around, of course, haven't I? Sorry. The lowest common multiple and the highest common factor. Do excuse me, what an idiot. Okay, saved that one. Let's have a read of this next question. Okay, question 5 then. Y equals P times Q to the x minus 1, and I'm told that when y equals 10, x is 1. So 10 equals P times Q to the 0. Of course, Q to the 0 is 1, so 10 equals P. Good. Now then, I can use that value of P. So y equals 10 times Q to the x minus 1. So I've just written that out again. And put my other values in. 0.3125 equals 10 times by Q to the 5. Divide both sides by 10. 0 equals 0.03125 equals Q to the 5. And I'm going to take the fifth root, 0.03125, on my calculator. And it's a half. The fifth root button, I use that, you can just see where I'm pointing. That symbol there allows you to specify the root. So it's not the square root, it's not the cube root, it's the fifth root. Okay, question 6. We had a bit of a technical issue there, but we're back. So this just tells me how to find the next term from the current term. xn plus 1 means the next term, and xn is my current term. So 4 minus 2 over the square of my current term gives me my next term. So if x1 equals 1, on my calculator I can use my answer key. So I put 1 into memory. 1 equals, okay, 1 is now in memory. Then I type in my formula. 4 minus 2 over, my current value is my answer button, squared. So x2 is 2. x2 is now in memory, so if I just press equals again, it will use that current value. And it wants it to 2 decimal places. So I don't need to write them all down. I can write the first few down. I want to stop. I'm just going to keep pressing answer, and I'm going to stop when my answers agree to 2 decimal places. So 3.84, 3.86, 3.87, 3.87. So I'm going to stop now because I've got 2 answers that have agreed to 2 decimal places. So x is 3.87 to 2 dp. I mean, I could keep going, but there's no point. And after a while, it stops changing to 8 decimal places because obviously it's changing down here somewhere. But I only need it to 2 dp, so I stopped when it agreed to 2 dp. Number 7. This is clearly a non-calculator question. 8 to the 4 divided by 32 to the 2/5, and it wants the answer as a power of 2. So I'm going to write 8 as a power of 2. and 32 is 2 to the 5. And then I can simplify both of these. Remember, a power to a power, you multiply the powers. So 2 to the power of 12 divided by 5 times 2 over 5 is 2. And then I use the other power law, which says the same number to two different powers, and it's a division, you subtract these powers. So 2 to the 10. M is an integer, that just means a whole number, so that's good, we're done. Okay, number 8, simultaneous equations, but with algebra, so it doesn't really help using the calculator here. 2x add 3y equals 5p, and y equals 2x add p. I've got choices here. Since y is already the subject, this says instead of y you can write 2x plus p. So I'm going to substitute this into equation number 1. Substitute equation number 2 into equation number 1 gives me 2x add 3 lots of 2x add p, and that equals 5p. Now it asks for the answers in terms of p, so I don't need to eliminate p, in fact I can't. So 2x plus 6x plus 3p equals 5p. Let's simplify that and take 3p off of both sides while I'm at it. So x is 2p over 8. I will simplify that into p over 4. Well, I know that y is 2x add p, so y is 2 lots of p over 4 add p. Well, 2 lots of p over 4 is 2p over 4, and I'm going to write p in quarters, so 4p over 4, so 6p over 4, and I can simplify that, so I will. 3p over 2. I guess I could have simplified 2p over 4 and then write p in halves. It doesn't really matter as long as you simplify. It does say give your answers in their simplest form, so that's done. Okay, question 9. R is directly proportional. No, that's not true. Y is directly proportional equals k times, that means directly proportional, to r squared. When r is 4, y is 24. So 24 equals k times 16. Divide both sides by 16. And then I can simplify because these are both multiples of 8. So 3 over 2 is k. Work out the value of r when y equals 1350. So first of all, let's write out that y is 3 over 2 times by r squared. That came from my first equation, working out k. And I want to work out the value of y when y is 1350. So let's substitute for y. Double both sides, 2700 divided by 3. So that's 900. So 900 is r squared, which means r must be equal to 30. I think it would be acceptable to give an answer as y is negative 30. I don't think you have to state both though, because it doesn't say anywhere that r needs to be positive. So you get full marks here or for this. You would not lose marks for writing both, but you wouldn't lose marks if you didn't give either, I don't believe. Of course it depends on the mark scheme. Number 10, straightforward simplifying surds. Root 12 is root 4 root 3, which of course is 2 root 3. 15 over root 3, well I have to multiply top and bottom by root 3, so I get 15 root 3 over 3, which simplifies to 5 root 3. So root 12 plus 15 over root 3 equals 2 root 3 plus 5 root 3, which is 7 root 3. Straightforward, standard, easy marks. 11. Excuse me, sorry, I just had to go off there. Right, okay, so we're factorising a quadratic. Well, this is a hard one because they're not both prime. A is greater than 0. Remember, I need numbers which multiply to give minus 30 and add to give minus 30. Your immediate response is 10 and 3, but of course I can't get minus 13 out of that. The answer is I need minus 15 and positive 2. So you have a choice here. You can rewrite using those two values, just split the middle, and the choice is either use your eyes, factorise, or put it in a grid. Don't mind either way, I quite like grids, so I'm going to put this into a grid. 3x squared minus 15x plus 2x minus 10. Factorise the top row, take out the 3x. Now here's a little tip, the sign here is always the same sign as that square. So that's x, which means that must be positive 2, which means that must be negative 5, and that fits. So x minus 5, 3x, add 2. Whichever method you prefer, it doesn't matter how you get there, just make sure you know a method to factorise hard quadratics. Part B is part B because it uses this, so that was part A. I've just realised I made a mistake on part B. You haven't spotted it because of my amazing seamless editing, but what I did was write the question out incorrectly, so that when I factorised my numerator and my denominator, I didn't have any equal factors to cancel out. So part B uses part A because the denominator is the expression that we were asked to factorise. The numerator is just a two-term quadratic, so I can just take out a factor of 3x. So it factorises to 3x times x minus 5. The denominator I've already factorised, x minus 5, 3x plus 2, and then I can divide both sides by x minus 5 to end up with 3x over 3x plus 2. So forgive my mistake, but this is the correct answer. Okay, for question 12, I'm just going to zoom in on the diagram. It's tiny, isn't it? Let's change the focus. There you go. Okay, so I know that a histogram works with area, so the total area of all these bars is equal to 480. Before I can read anything off, I need to work out the frequency density scale. So I'll just call each big square x. So the area of each of these added up gives me 480. The width of that first block is 15, its height is 5x. The width of that block is 5, its height is 6.6x. And the width of this block is 15 and its height is 0.8x. So I've written an equation. I'll zoom back out. Let's sort my focus out. That's as good as it's getting, I think. I've written my equation, set that equal to 480. Let's just simplify each of these. 5 times 15 plus 6.6 times 5 plus 0.8 times 15 is, so 120x equals 480. So 480 over 120 is 4. So now I know the scale on my now I know my frequency density scale each big square is 4. The number of cars that are over the speed limit greater than 40. So I'm looking at this area here. Oh, you can't see. I'll zoom back in again. I'm looking at the area where the area of the block above 40. So it's 10 wide and it's 0.8 times 4. So the area that I'm interested in is 10 wide and it's 0.8 times 4. I'll do that on my calculator, I think. 32. Okay, that's a lot. See you next time. Bye bye.